Hey everybody! Today we are having Mamba versus Active Rush. This will be game one. Right off the bat, we see a Malphite ban. Probably a target ban towards Active Rush to probably somebody choosing their way through with the AP Malphite build. Don't want to see any of that.
Yeah.
Today we have me, Phantom GG casting, and we have my co-caster with the play-by-play, Foxy.
Hey.
How you doing today, Fox?
I'm doing good. Staying safe indoors. Away from all the viruses.
You mean doing what your normal daily life was in the first place?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much no change at all. Life is all the same.
There was a really good picture I saw on the internet that went like this. I never imagined a day where drinking beer and playing video games was the responsible thing to do.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one.
So we got some bans. Definitely a target ban for top lane here, Vlad, and the Lee Sin for the jungle.
Mamba's finally being the first team to say, you know what, we don't want to see the Caitlyn at all here. Fuck that shit, I'm out.
Yeah, the target ban. We've been talking up the Caitlyn a lot, so won't be seen at this game. And a Malzahar as well, being banned away. Mamba here with a first pick. We're gonna be on the blue side against Active Rush. I'm expecting also to see a Mordekaiser or something tanky. There's a set to be picked up. That is likely a set for Bowkeeper in the jungle.
Wonder if we'll see that set be flexed to mid or support. Overall, I kind of like the bans more in this game. They feel more adapted. They feel like actual research was put into them. Because one thing I didn't really like about most of the bans that I've seen today and the past week, it just feels like they were just throwaway bans, just like, we're just gonna click this ban here and hope it works out. But today's bans, it feels like some actual cognitive thought was put into it. So respected Mamba and Active Rush here.
Yeah, definitely. The last bans, like in the previous teams, they were really just targeting certain picks, not so much like really thinking about what is meta, what is strong in this tournament. And we're gonna see a Jhin here being picked up in the bot lane with a
Jhin
Braum
power lane. This is interesting because Jhin can be quite delayable, but he comes with the vital weakness where he is really easy for like a Zed to just come in and just destroy his life. So I'm wondering if Mamba will pick champions are just really good at abusing Jhin.
Yeah, Jin's early game is pretty strong. We're gonna be a Varus that's pick for Wayma.
I thought Nami pick's really weird. It feels like they kind of
Nami is a main. Nami is also a main pick, like just a comfort. This is basically down the line.
Braum, though, that's not fun. He literally blocks the entire title if no CC coming on to him.
That's true. And
although I will say, I don't really like the fact that Active Rush is going too ham in revealing like what their team comp wants to do. Normally, when you're picking your champions, one of these some form of secrecy. But Active Rush is just saying, you know what, we're going aggressive, we're going roaming. Our goal is to camp the bot lane. What does Mamba have to answer it? So how would they answer it? And the way Mamba should look at drafts right now is they should look for something a little bit more scaling or with anti-CC like the Veigar or a Cassiopeia or even a Lissandra or a Galio. So I'm wondering they'll adapt that way towards the mid lane. And they still need a jungle here. And normally you see jungle picked in first rotation. So is that a set jungle or are they actually
that is very likely set jungle because Bowkeeper definitely a lot of set. I would say that is gonna stay there, and then there's a Vlad band away from the top lane, so I would expect him for top here being picked. And that's a Veigar ban. That's definitely a ban towards mid lane. I think Teemo, is that a lost ban? Why is there a Teemo ban?
So Active Rush was stream sniping us and decided, you know what, you're right, Phantom. We don't want Veigar in this game. We're getting rid of it. So shout out to me.
All right.
Prediction.
All right, we're gonna see a Sejuani hover.
Ooh, Sejuani Braum combo. It's always a good combo I've been a fan of because it's basically perma stun pass going and tying into each other.
The only thing I feel like we're lacking from Active Rush is DPS.
Yeah, they're really all in on this burster. There is no consistent actual DPS. It's just like we're gonna
If
target this guy,
the
hopefully he dies.
initial hit, if it doesn't pop them, then what happens next? Slugfest of running away? Question mark?
Oh, Syndra is actually still
Syndra?
here.
Syndra gonna be
Syndra is
picked
well
here?
done, man. Okay, so
And there's the Mordekaiser.
if Active Rush doesn't have any form of scaling right here, I'm going to instigate them all. Garen.
Ooh, Garen answer.
Ooh, that's so I asked for scaling and they gave it.
Yeah. Garen is gonna be actually somewhat difficult to deal with. His silence is gonna be.
And Garen is basically a better version of Amplitude right now, where he has an ability that's really good at blocking. Oh,
Gonna be
wait,
Darius.
Okay, so never mind. I like Mamba Strath more now. I'm retracting my statements earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't liking Rush's rep that much. Especially Jin Brown doesn't. In lane because of these slow autos on Jin, he's just really hard to proc the concussive blows, and then Darius in top lane is okay.
We're going from like probably like a kill lane where Braum lands Q'd and Jin gets this snare, and then like Sejuani and LeBlanc get in after. So I feel like we're going with like a tower dive bot lane type comp.
You're expecting all these people to land all these things chain and all these things to fall into place, which makes me feel like Active Rush relying on their skills very heavily to make this comp work.
I have all the love for the league. This is PT. This is messy. This is violence. This is madness.
This is madness. Sparta.
This is where we miss point blank Namiults. This is where we find a way to just get collapsed on into the top lane. BTL is a special place where you see a lot of question mark type plays be made, but you know what? It's amusing to watch. We love it. We love the community. We love the people who are watching us in chat right here. So the big question is, how many Sejuani ults are going to be whiffed? How many LeBlanc chains are going to be missed? And how many Braum Qs are just going to go all up in the air? Just wondering where did they go?
Yeah. Wondering which way the magnets are pulling grenade.
Pull up Jin lands with his ultimate. Okay, can we have a count with that? Is anyone in chat willing to keep count for us?
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. So the Varus though is definitely an interesting, I think, pick here, especially with having the Mordekaiser available to take somebody out of the fight. Missing one member on Active Rush could mean a lot in a 5v5. I think if Varus, if the key carries on Mamba can survive the initial hit from active engage, a lot of these fights might go into favor for Mamba. So my prediction would be Mamba's winning this. But I don't really know how the player levels are with the draft teams. Yeah, Mamba favored. I agree with you.
Well, because one thing that Active Rush unfortunately played into and didn't really consider is that there's a Mordekaiser player on Mamba. And when you're playing these really melee champions, what does Mordekaiser like facing?
Melee champions.
So.
Squishy melee champions that he can kill guaranteed.
Who's actually going to escape this Mordekaiser? They're really banking off Darius' passive right now. They're really banking at Darius' bleed. Can really just wear him down. Yeah. So if Darius doesn't snowball, they kind of lose their win condition right now. They have to, like, Active Rush has 2 win conditions. They get to do their dive to bottom lane type draft where LeBlanc roams and Jin lands his W. And then they're banking off Darius winning lane face against Mordekaiser.
One thing for sure, LeBlanc is going to be extremely difficult to gank and extremely difficult to catch and stop. So
here's your other problem. Cinder counter picks LeBlanc.
I missed it. What?
I can say with utmost certainty that Cinder counter picks LeBlanc. When I was doing like really high elo scrims and coaching them, whenever LeBlanc was picked, my midway would just instantly say, "Give me Syndra," and he just won every single time hands down. There was never a moment he did not win that matchup. It was 100% favorite towards the Syndra. So.
Oh really? So
yeah,
we're expecting Syndra to win this.
If you were to rate it on a 1 to a 3 scale, 3 being unwinnable and 1 being total, this matchup's a free for LeBlanc. It's really rough. So if Cinder can just plan her E's on time every single time, LeBlanc's W's are basically honest.
Mm.
Which is really why I was saying that Active Rush really reveals their hands too early. When you're drafting, what you want to do is you want to pick like 2 champions that are to the theme of your comp, and then the third champion kind of hides you a little bit. I see that Mamba did that. Mamba picked Varus and which says they want to poke, and then Set can like be anything you want. He could be Peel, he could be Engagement, he could be a flanker. So we don't really see Mamba showing their hand yet. And because they didn't show their hand yet, while Active Rush did, all Mamba had to go is like, okay, so we pick Syndra that counters to a block, and they have all these melee champions. We pick Mordekaiser. So for future tips when drafting, just make sure you don't reveal too much too early, or else you end up in these outdrafted situations.
Yeah, I mean, every time you pick a champion, you're exposing that champion.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, but you're also exposing the way you want to play that game.
Yeah. So, well, Blanc will be heavily reliant on getting kills in the bot. The bot lane is pretty immobile, so yeah, it could go well. So we'll have to see how Expo does here.
Mm-hmm. The reason I'm not a big fan of, I'm not a big fan of this Nami. I really wish people would realize that Nami and Soraka are actual champions and very ruthless champions.
Wait, Soraka and who? Senna, you mean?
Soraka and Janna. I'd also like to see more Senna in general. I already said plenty of things.
Yeah, Senna has not been touched by any teams. There has been bans. There has been some bans.
And that's the big reason why Kaylin just increases so much value in this competition, is that we have yet to see a player in this competition be able to properly utilize Senna. And that just naturally increases Caitlyn's value because Senna is one of Caitlyn's core counters.
Yep.
But Mama recognizes that. They say, we don't want to first pick Caitlyn today. We're not going to play Senna. We're not going to play Aphelios. So you know what? How about we just get rid of the Caitlyn? We're going to do the smart thing. Get rid of it. Maybe when I'm bored sometime this week, I'll make a tier list specifically for BTL
champions. Yeah, usually champion tier list and just their wins and losses and pick rates is really good to have.
I would say like the big go-to picks for BTL right now would be definitely the Caitlyn. I really like the Maokai. Braum in BTL is really good. Syndra is actually a really big power pick for BTL. Surprised that the Syndra got through.
So it looks like if we look at Expo versus Spy Fiction and their stats, looks like somewhat Spy Fiction does better in KDA department and just in general in CS department as well. Yeah. Damage wise though, Expo does a little bit better. So maybe Expo will be roaming quite a bit. We can maybe expect Expo to be.
I know Mamba faced Shurima last week. I don't recall the winner. Was it Shurima or was it Mamba that won their match? I think it was Shurima.
Oh, Shurima won, yes. 2-0.
No, Mamba won one. No, I'm talking about last week. Mamba faced Shurima last week. I'm smart. I clicked the right button.
Again.
Yeah.
Shurima won last week.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
So this is Mamba's chance for a little bit of redemption.
Yeah.
And Mamba really needs this win this time, because if Mamba doesn't get this win, they'll actually just have no wins at all. Correct me if I'm wrong. And bottom, I think at this point in the league, if they go 0-free, it'll be near impossible for them to qualify for top 2. So they really want this win this week. Now, this is my favorite part of the channel where we rate the skins. We have root-legged, sporting the God King Darius. Really love the splash art. I hate it in game because that beautiful gray and red turns into like this really weird purple hue. Really disagree with it. Sejuani is going to classic, but in my personal opinion, classic Sejuani is best Sejuani. You can fight me on that.
Oh, God. Really?
IG
You're gonna completely ignore the fact that they made the cutest Poro skin for Sejuani ever. You're just gonna completely ignore that Sejuani is riding a Poro into battle.
Yes, because it's disturbing. Who rides a Poro into battle? What can you do when a giant Poro just looks at you? With this big giant blonde lady with the five.
You think you're safe, and then Sejuani comes in and stuns you for 24 hours.
That skin makes me hate. I'm sorry. I can't look at that skin and say Poro.
It's like a gravity bomb. It's like, you know, you're dragging people towards you just by the, which is actually an advantage because you get to engage it.
Toilet paper boom.
Oh no, I've run out of toilet paper. Must pause.
My house is actually completely stacked in toilet paper. My family came to the household and we fused all our toilet paper hoarding together, so we're good for about 2 months. I think we might make it.
I think we're also stacked here for about 2 months, maybe longer, with like having ways to make bread and stuff like that if needed.
Worst case scenario, we'll do as the Chinese.
Yeah, and what is that?
Oh, they use spray.
Just spray.
Yeah.
Alright, a little bit of a run out here.
There's actually a lot of countries do that. Western countries are actually one of the very few countries that actually use toilet paper, believe it or not. Most countries actually believe water is better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Europeans, they use the faucet and things like that. Makes sense. I actually do that too. I don't really use toilet paper very much.
But yeah, the smart fact of the day for the chat on the debate of how to remain sanitary when cleaning.
Minions has spawned.
Got God King Darius waiting in the bush, trying to see if Mordekaiser makes a mistake. I didn't. Let's see. We want to take bet. So $5, Mordekaiser falls for it. Which side are you taking?
I think Mordekaiser will path through. I think
right
he
now,
will.
you decide. Okay, he's gonna go to safe.
Oh, you mean like, oh, Mordekaiser's on blue side, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
I never betted anything.
Oh no.
What is this trade going on here?
I love how I give all these stats, this information, how Syndra beats and then
Yeah, see, I never said any of that. That is on you.
I'm not wrong, but I forgot. This is BTL.
Auto, and instantly gets a proc electrocute at level 1.
I forgot to remember. This is BTL.
Yeah, you forgot to remember that we are not in LCK, we're not in LS, we're in BTL. So.
But you know what? It's more fun that way. We like violence. I don't favor any of these teams. Wait, Jin? Hello? Pause?
Jin had a little moment there.
Coronavirus affecting
the
me?
minions.
Question mark?
Ooh,
Oh, dude.
quite a beatdown on that Darius there. Yeah, Bullet Ride, he's comfortable on the Mordekaiser pick, so should be expecting him to be harassing quite a bit. Ooh. Oh, that's a flash forward and a bounce here, and another auto attack will secure the first blood and getting a little spicy. That's a kill to Varus early on.
We're seeing a familiar story where the comp that outscaled got fed in the early game. So some foreshadowing right now. Hopefully it doesn't get too predictable because we like some more action than just winning draft.
Yeah, I mean this was just a basic level 2, push, and then they got the level 2 to instantly capitalize on that. See both in and
okay, Sejuani turned to Mordekaiser. I think Mordekaiser's gonna sniff it out. He does, and he just says, "You know what? You don't get me. I
from
get you."
Sejuani. Mordekaiser dealing a good bit of damage. The aftershock is already now. Darius is going to be going in onto Bullet Ride, but the Face Breaker is going to catch both of them here. Blade is falling so low and go down, but there is the Darius. He's coming. He's got the full stack. Q will miss and not heal him. This double buffs on Bowkeeper, probably not a good idea, but Bonk followed up, so we'll be safe to go back.
I feel like it could have been played a little mentally together. I feel like Mordekaiser felt too hard to try to play safe.
Oh, and the double bubble coming out here. So right now.
These are the games I look for. I like games where there's no room for talking or analyzing. I just like to look all around. This is how we like it.
Yeah, I wish I could let you talk, but there's so much action in the early.
No, it's better this way. I'm just gonna sit back, drink my coffee, and you do your thing.
Alright, I'm gonna do my thing. That arrow's gonna land once again. Over and over and over. So much poke. The mana's falling a little low, but I'm sure that the reset here is gonna be real juicy for Wayman. Looks like we got a flank from Set. He's on the top side. He's gonna find Darius. There's this level 3 still, so this could be a great time with the double buffs if they can just avoid Darius getting too much time to stack up. Goalkeeper, he's going for this. They're going full. Haymaker's gonna do a good bit of damage.
No.
Might have been a little early though. Stack. He's actually just gonna straight up walk away with this.
It's so awkward.
He didn't even get level 4.
The big problem with Juggernauts is...
Oh, Sejuani really just out of nowhere from behind, walking up on this lane. Aftershock is gonna do a good bit. Wayman doesn't have flash because he used it earlier for the first blood. Will actually be missed. Oh, he's gonna might live here under tower. The exhaust comes through onto Anxious, and oh my god, the LeBlanc will pick up on the electric finally. Oh, Thug actually missed the W there. Almost let Lil Wayman get away with this. That would have been heartbreaking for Thesis.
Mordecai... Darius is actually really close to getting to that point where Mordecai also wants 1E, he keeps his finish, and Darius actually has that flashing. Alright, so he's gonna do just...
Oh, Syndra's been roaming all the way here. Oh, and it's actually gonna miss both. Yeah, all the abilities. Spy Fiction doesn't have 6 yet, and will mix 6. Well, need that level 6. Really hard to get kills with Syndra without having a 6 ready.
Don't worry, she'll have her outplay button again.
Yeah, the outplay button. We got oxymoron there. That is just one button for outplay. It's just great. Oh, there you got the ghosting now. They added new things for itself. That move speed. Mordekaiser getting the ult through. Will be 2 levels ahead of Darius here. Darius gets that level up, but doesn't have 6 to finish off Bullet Bath. As you were saying, this top lane is very volatile. Get this Darius alive, and if they can keep this up, they might be able to play through top.
Darius actually is one of the big go-tos when you're facing Mordekaiser. You see that right there is actually one of the reasons why LeBlanc does struggle against Zero, because there should be never a case where, how do I say it, LeBlanc can just jump onto Syndra, she has to either disengage, and if LeBlanc Darius gets stunned, that's just going to be tons of damage coming out with the R for the execute.
Yeah. You just needed to be like quicker with the QE combo here in order to prevent LeBlanc from being able to engage ever.
The problem
LeBlanc's
is here, and I actually know what's going on,
terrible,
is
so...
when you actually look at solo queue, you can go find this out on any statistic website. LeBlanc, even high elo, is a very rare champion to be played. And so it's really hard to counter a champion when you don't know their actual timers. Like, how fast does it take LeBlanc to W in front of your face after she presses that medicine? 1 second or 2 seconds? Like, these are timings you have to know. So when you're never facing those type of champions, you don't know those things. For example, Set is actually super easy to beat in lane, especially if you're playing something like Ari, because his ult will always fake appear behind your back. But if you don't know when he reappears after pressing R, then how do you do it? Because you're just not used to it, right?
Yeah.
So it just kind of goes to the whole phrase of practice makes perfect, but if the practice doesn't exist, then well, have fun.
Sejuani gonna come in here with the Glacier Prism. It's not gonna be quite landing, so that's 1 miss you can count. And Wayman's just gonna walk away with this. They have a lot of control words here, so
It looks like they want to go for
quite a
a
bit of time to clear all this
but
out.
I really don't think it's possible without the Sejuani ultimate anymore.
Yeah. They need that level 6 on the bot lane to really be able to change it. Bowkeeper might be looking for bot side here, possibly.
So, I'm 99% positive it's probably going to be the Bladed Root build, but I do wonder if there's an off chance that Varus goes for the pure lethality build. Because they updated the lethality item where one of the lethality items, Samuel Blade, actually goes into lethality now with Vampire Scepter.
Alright, so Seti does come bot lane here. Has the showstopper. The Facebreaker is gonna get a hit. And the chains will take one away. And a flash heal from Thuggish. Emo is gonna escape.
What's really weird here, most time, actually, Simon, you see, the team listened to our requests. We asked for Seth to come out on stage, and here he is.
Yeah, you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a breakout here at the. Oh, there's a flash forward onto Spy Fiction. Gonna get chained down, so definitely gonna be a kill for Beast. He's gonna be flipped over though, and a flash away from Bowkeeper to disengage. But this will likely be a handover of the.
Plus disrespect. Like, he's right in front of you. He has flash. And you just literally allow him. Just kind of like say, wait below. Like, you're not gonna do it. And then Darius is like, yeah, I am.
Well, I think that definitely was a delayed flash from Fiction to flash that E. They definitely weren't balling just everything to get that kill onto the Braum. So really good timing from Active Rush to go to the draft.
Kinda.
Oh, Expo just getting free dancing here. And farming. There's Thesis, he's here, and the Jin R is going to hit a couple of shots here. Prism will not catch Wayman. Wayman will be able to kite this out. Nami goes down. And the TP from Bullet Ride is not really in time to catch anybody. Gonna be a 1-for-0.
So I just gotta give a shout out to Pluggish Emu for the chat. So a big problem that your solo Q gens will do is that they'll just literally only use the Jingle for basically execution. And that really is the wrong way to use Jingle, because Jingle has a lot of slows, has a lot of setup. So when you're in solo Q boys, and your jungler's about to gank for you, you're level 6, just open up with the ultimate, and let the jungler do it for you. Just apply the slows, and your jungler will get the kill for you. You don't need to walk in and get that last shot. Your ult is such good a setup, abuse it, which is really happy to see Emu actually do with his, instead of holding it for the KS.
No. Holding it for the KS. I thought the ADC is supposed to get fed.
You know him. I know you.
Yeah,
Solo Q
I understand your point. I got you.
They really do not know how to use that ult.
That is a good point, though. And we got a little bit of
Wait.
possibly a catch up, but Braum is alone, so there's not really much to do. I'm gonna clear this ward out in the mid of the river there on the bot side, and we got a couple of resets here. So let's see. We haven't really seen LeBlanc roam recently, but we probably will soon.
Alright, so time for a little bit of score analysis. So the score is 4-4. Mamba is the scaling team, while Rush they want the early game action. And the big problem here is that we're going to 12 minutes, and neither ritual has been taken since its spawning. Looks like Sejuani is going for it right now, but the gold lead is literally tied while going against the scaling team. When you're going against the scaling team, what you gotta remember is you're on a race against time, and if you don't close these games out around roughly 25 minutes with a decent gold lead, your life becomes pretty rough. So, how does Rush keep your lead? And the way to keep your lead is they really gotta plan around bot lane. But we're gonna go by the play by play.
Well, back with bot lane, the tidal wave will actually, but probably will not be able to kite this out. We'll have to see. The ignite will come down, and that is a kill per. Braum ulti was just not enough. They will, however, trade for a couple of stacks for mid. Allow it start traveling, and some of the team is quite melee. Like the jungle top is pretty low mobility, so I can see getting Expo that tower gonna allow him to start rotating, and Expo likes to fight based on his stats, so I would expect that that will help the team kind of open the map and look for that kind of
Mid
keeping
tower
that
is
lead,
literally
where
just
you were
an
just
auto
talking
attack
about.
away from die.
Hmm?
Oh, just the mid tower is so close to die. Just 2 auto attacks.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah. More guys are getting Beast under tower a little bit here. Trade. Oh, that's the right way to do it. Expo. Not gonna be able to keep that chain on. Oh, Nelson. He has the Bork you were talking about. Definitely going for that Bork. A DP. Ferris. Not farming the Jhin at this so early. Yeah, very bad for the bot lane. The hope is in the mid and top, and jungle has been applying some pressure. Not many successful ganks for sure, but at least hasn't been invaded and watching Set just backdoor all these lanes is definitely would have been a much worse case.
So Dragon spawning soon. There is a little bit of gold lead on red side. Rush really wants to start eyeballing this dragon here. They would ideally want Jhin to start pushing out soon. Take advantage of the fact that Mamba wants to back here in the bot lane section and just seize vision control over to bot side river. If they can get this, ideally this should be a free dragon for them. But Cinder is backing, so let's see how Mamba responds.
Nelson might be caught here. Nelson trying to clear those waves. They got 4 right here ready to go, and there's the prism, but there's a lens. He's going to be able to get the corrupting chains and get a good bit of damage here. Nami will go down. The Spy Fiction will actually miss the CP. Have to back out and let Wayman die here. Actually goes in favor of Active Rush. Meanwhile, Bolton right here fighting. Beast will likely go down here, but the heal goes through. Will he be able to get the execute in time? No.
Oh,
Bullet Ride will get the kill. Ooh, yeah. That is a shutdown. So they're actually still fighting over this dragon. Actually misses the Chains of Corruption.
The Cinder have ultimate?
Syndra is ready. Yeah, Syndra has no ulti anymore. And Emo is here as well, so they will be able to secure. And we will be moving to a Mountain Soul.
This is actually so fortunate for Rush here. They have triple tank comp while getting Mountain. That is bank quitter buff right there.
Yeah. That means Sejuani is going to be able to keep her passive longer too, because she's going to have a shield when she goes in. And all those stats of armor for wow, that's going to be like huge. Sejuani is probably one of the best champions to have Mountain.
I would say the only champions that bank more off armor than Sejuani would probably be ideal to champions like the Mountain Knight and the Mammoth.
Oh wow, Beast is doing really well with dodging.
I do want to point out, Bull just took a full Darius ult to face and didn't care.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is very hard to kill. He's probably the only person that Beast is gonna have trouble killing right now. Is his laner. So got Thesis here fighting over the scuttle a little bit. Darius will be pathing down, and LeBlanc has the freedom now with the open turret to just roam to these fights. Spy Fiction has no choice but to play really safe here. So have to see some vision control here. They'll be able to some far sides and things. But this is not enough to control the top side. Wayman though, I have to applaud Wayman. Wayman is doing a fantastic job on the team. So far ahead, they're gonna get this bot tower, and finally Wayman will unchained from this lane and be able to start really being involved in a lot of these team fights even more.
So, going for the past few games and just like public opinion, a lot of people would say that.
Oh, this is engaged. The Prism onto Spy Fiction once again. Spy Fiction down, probably breaking all morale on Spy Fiction. Really having a hard time against this LeBlanc, just even staying alive.
He's just not comfortable in this matchup. It just really goes down to he probably just doesn't face a lot of LeBlanc players. He's not familiar with her timings. He's not familiar with the damage he outputs, and it's just really showing here as it bites on the butt, where it's a matchup he should be winning, but it's coming out behind.
Yep.
But which also just goes to show because like they did pick it after LeBlanc, so I feel that they probably went, oh, Cinder counterpicks LeBlanc. But counterpick doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Syndra doesn't have a way to. Oh, she has a way to control LeBlanc, but we got an engage here. Both pieces is gonna. Jin is gonna land some things. Expo's actually gonna take out Wayman so quick there. Holy crap. Cleanse even exposed, but now that Chain Corruption just gone from mid lane. And they're just gonna be able to engage here. Here's that early ult open. Fly Fiction is gonna be hit a little bit. Bowkeeper trying to tank this. They're not gonna be able to get a pick out of this. Anxious playing much safer now and gonna be able to stay alive. Right. Fly Fiction keeps missing these combos. He's using Spread the Weak without a sphere. And then we got Bowkeeper jumping in. He's gonna be a good bit of damage, but Haymaker's gonna stake. And a flash had to be used. And it looks like Active Rush are gonna take a little break and go back to side lane as LeBlanc also reset. Having a Ludens now and a we're going to be able to use that to break through the Mordekaiser in this set on the enemy team. So, scaling or not scaling, this LeBlanc is scary.
Oh yeah. This is where you just gotta really stick together as a team and really do some Mordekaiser to help you brute force these team fights right now. Ideally, you would normally want your Mordekaiser to spend a little more time scaling and split pushing, but right now, Bomba's just saying, Mordekaiser, we need you now. We need you to peel for us because we're scared. We're skilled children. Come help us, Dad, please.
Daddy Mace is here, ready.
Yep.
Darius is here. He's gonna maybe start something.
It's not landing from Cinder.
Yeah, never sphere. No Spread the Weak with sphere, which is very strange. Just keeps using Spread the Weak way too early. Probably in fear of getting CC here. With Bezos it is. It finally lands, but the Showstopper is gonna land quite a bit. Bowkeeper is gonna stay alive. Thesis is running around trying to stay alive for a while. Gonna actually escape alive here, but eventually gonna go down. Jin, maybe Imu can do some damage. Finally having some room for this, but yeah, not really any follow-up. The Braum passive just not really proccing on any key map. Weren't able to get a pick on Anxious either.
This is gonna be the Wayman show, where Waymo really just has to step back, be the DPS carry that they need. But what he cannot do is he cannot continue to miss these ults, and it's also to...
Oh, that's a flash forward from Expo. He's gonna get the kill onto Anxious. There's that one kill. Here's another one. And execute from these. He's going forward. The board from Wayman though is going to slow this down. In the red buff, Spacebreaker is going to get some more time, and Haymaker's Bowkeeper alive just enough to give enough time to get all of this damage in. Expo's still alive, has blue buff. Chains will land. Flash away Wayman, but no follow up from Thesis. I mean, Emu. He's going to be looking for this, but the dragon does go over to Mamba, and so in a sense that's going to be a net win overall, I would say. Pretty good. But not a clean fight at all.
Lush is doing the classic thing. They're taking away the jungle. They wish they would have stuck around a little bit longer, maybe take the jungle control. But they're saying, you know what, first thing I want to Baron. Does Mamba actually need this time? Do they actually get the read?
Yeah, I mean, they just scattered everybody on the team. Give me a perfect time. Already half HP, and they have no clue when this is happening. Control wards all over the river is definitely paying off for Active Rush. They know they're aggressive team. They know they have to make initiative. They know they have to control how the team fights go. And Expo's just a monster. 603. So ahead. We have haven't seen a good ult from Nelson at all this game. And I think this is due to this. I Braum at all. It's it just feels so disjointed because it's just you don't have the DPS. You don't have the auto attacker to proc these concussive blows on members quickly. So even with the slows, it just doesn't allow slowing usually for ability to kite. I would swap these two ADs in an instant for a more positive drag for both teams.
Sorry, think about how I can reply to that pretty fast. So, I understand the idea that Rush had, and I actually think there is a world where it works. So, my only concern is that this isn't really the Jin show. This is like a LeBlanc show.
Thesis is fighting forward quite a bit here. The Jin R will definitely pick up one member, and they're going to be fighting here. And a Stasis from Thesis is going to live. Boatkeeper wearing off the rest of the team, but the Baron is still going to be a big threat. They're going to be pushing down on this inner mid tower. Meanwhile, they got the split push from by Beast in the side lane. Bolt Ride will be trying to threaten here. He's going to actually isolate M. Will likely pick this up, maybe, but the concussive blows actually kept through. And Emu just barely doesn't get away. And Nelson forced to flash as well.
Darius, I mean, Morgan's kind of too early to cover. There was a world where Jin almost lives, and then he will die for nothing. This is gonna back him up. So really lucky he did the Jin at the very last moment.
Yeah, it was very close. Forward from Spy Fiction will likely pick up this kill onto this. Yep, there's the kill. But Darius has been splitting this whole time with his Triforce. And oh my god, he's actually just straight up gonna pick up this free kill onto Anxious, and all the Beast getting borked. Maybe will not be able to survive. The Raymond will back 1-for-1.
So a lot of people go like, Darius is broken, best top whatever, yada yada yada. We got some people saying that. I get. We've all been Darius back. It sucks. But a big reason why Darius is really not that broken is because you have this exact situation right now where Will Wayman just presses bork and he goes, yeah, you don't get to touch me anymore. I reject I reject this down and replace it with my auto attack.
Yeah, and that's like one of the reasons, like say one she can just condemn Darius away, engage, and just kite him out and dealing that kind of damage. Van is actually one of the ADs that are also very strong that I don't see played very much. That could be another pick that could go on the table of champions that could be good answers against like Caitlyn and things like that. Ooh, the ultimate here. Bold Bite getting caught. Blanc looking for the chains. One more chain will do it, or that works.
Is just doing work. She
Center
says,
here,
I don't
Spy
care
Fiction
that you
is
counterpick.
trying to get onto Nelson, but it's really dangerously close. Facebreaker is going to keep Nelson locked in, but there is the Prism onto Wayman. Wayman is
the problem.
The showstopper from Bowkeeper is going to keep the front line at bay, but the flash forward Thesis Jin is going to pick up a kill here onto Bookkeeper. It's going to cost them somebody, and if it's not going to be Wayman, it's going to be Bowkeeper. Sacrificing his life for Wayman. Oh,
you know
block.
what's really ironic? It really feels like both teams right now really benefit if they just traded supports. I feel like Jin would benefit more than Nami, and Varus would benefit more than
Or just trade the ADs, either one, yeah. That's what I've been saying.
It's actually really funny, I just noticed that right now. Like, they actually for ADCs.
Yeah, because that slow from Braum would allow Wayman to just kite anybody. I mean, Bork is one member for a little bit, but Braum R is just like forever. It's like, what's that phrase? Something is for now, but this is forever.
Yep.
Yeah, and also Bowkeeper would benefit from Braum as well. This team comes done really well with Braum in general. But Nami is their pick here. Haymaker, and that is going to keep him in. Beast is actually going to go forward, flash, and almost getting Bowkeeper, but Bowkeeper likely survived.
Oh,
Wayman,
no,
though, getting caught out on the side here. Bullet Ride forced to fight here. He's going to take Emo for a 1v1. Oh, will not actually be able to get the Jin this time. So this time, he will likely be going down. And there's no follow-up, no tidal wave. Oh, there's an ultimate from Jin. A little bit weird angle, so they will not likely be able to pick up any damage here. Thesis will try to get this tower. Yep, there's the one last shot. And there's a teleport actually going down now in the side beat.
So talking about
Push on the side. Gonna try to get this inhibitor. Not sure if this team is paying enough attention. Oh, there they go. They're gonna start to rotate, but they have to pick because mid lane will go down very soon. Expo buff will be able to engage over and over freely. Chain will miss. Spy will actually hit the hit onto Expo, but Face will have a free day on top, and they will take an inhibitor over this. Alright, 1v4 time. Let's see it. Let's see it, Darius. Facebreaker will begin here. He will heal off too. Will actually might be able to walk away with this. Expo is trying to help out. All the teams are here from all pieces, and the showstopper is not going to be enough, but it will take down Darius. There's another fight. Bullet Ride this time actually ulting the Sejuani. So yeah, Sejuani will go down.
this game is really waiting for
Oh my god, look at that damage, doesn't even matter. Is actually in with Expo, not Expo is... Oh, Expo is not going to be able to follow up on that though.
This really is Wayman versus LeBlanc. It's had Wayman survival one.
Yeah.
This is the Wayman. Watch out for Wayman. If Wayman dies, then Mob will lose consistency. If Wayman can stay alive, he will carry the fight.
Yeah. If Expo gets caught out with one of these engages, Wayman gets a free day. If because everyone else is based just Jin and melees. Oh, the Facebreaker here. Ooh, almost catching Expo. Speaking of getting caught.
So
close
Expo
one.
doing a little bit the dirty BM to the enemy team, sacking that Mage Eyes. He's saying, you know what, none of you guys are ever gonna kill me. I'm gonna turn y'all into stats.
Oh yeah, Magi's. Getting that movement speed from Magi's could help out. Oh, but Expo, where are you walking into? Alright.
Alright, so let's talk about win condition. So, Mamba is looking rough. They have a lot of squishies, and they're going against a really, really, really fed LeBlanc. But where Rush really needs to be careful with is their comp that's easy to kite. Their comp where they administer vital ultimates, they instantly lose fight. They're starting to Baron, so it's just the part where they get caught out. They really need to watch out for the Baron, because they do get caught out. This is possibly the game for them. They sense that this could go dangerously fast, they're starting to reset, but do they go back on the Baron?
Cleaning some of the vision, making sure they have control of that. But the problem is they're sending the Syndra all the way to clear these Mega Minions, so they're not going to have that.
She does have
She
TP.
misses usually it. She does have TP.
Okay, now it's the time we gotta make plays. Now or never. What does Mamba do?
The health is almost at 3,000. Bowkeeper is trying to find an in. The ultimate from Nelson is going to down this prison. Is also going to zone them out. They just want this. They aren't really looking for the fight necessarily. Expo is still sitting here. We'll go in for a huge W. And the Facebreaker is going to try to catch Expo, but Expo is basically out fighting Mordekaiser here in... But we'll be able to survive through all that. Bowkeeper is not going to be able to live here. Anxious side. And that is very likely game over. And a game going over to Active Rush. Great.
The moment there. That was their chance to make a comeback. That was their chance to get back into this game, and they were just so small pulling through. It's like, now is your opportunity back in, and they just chose not to take it, and then they die.
Yeah, and there was no ultimate from Wayman. Wayman, they didn't have vision where Expo was.
Yeah, Wayman was up on use, and Troll was up on use, so it's just, okay, I guess we lose now. Like,
Yeah.
very depressing.
Unfortunate loss.
Very
Active Rush will take the
anticlimactic.
game here.
But good Queen win on Rush. Good win. Not taking anything away from them. They had a really offensive comp. They understood they had to win early.
LeBlanc
And-
out damaged the Varus. That's why they won. It was the damage diff.
But like, what was nice about this is that we saw a lot of teams like they pick these offensive comps and then they just don't work out because they get outscaled. So Rush is one of the first teams in a while on stream to actually make this early game offensive comp work, and that's just what you gotta do. You're playing for the early game. You're playing for the damage. Play hard early. Close it out in the mid game. Do not let the enemy team have a chance to scale. It's nice to finally see a team play early game correctly.
Yeah. Even though there was quite a bit of whiffing, I feel like I can definitely criticize. Jin was missing a lot of the flourishes, a lot of the prisms were missed. LeBlanc won lane, which was definitely a key reason they were able to still make up for those mistakes, and they didn't really make a big difference. But yeah, and Darius, great pick. I think that was a huge success on the top side. There were a lot of ganks that Darius was supposed to lose, but they were just not able to kill him fast enough and not able to set up the ganks well enough.
It also shows the importance of really understanding the identity of your team comp. So for Mamba, they wanted to scale a bit. They wanted to abuse the sheer raw power of Mordekaiser's AoE and just shred through their tanks. And unfortunately, by the time they realized that they should start doing that, it was just too little too late.
Yeah. The squishes just could not walk up anymore because of how fed their LeBlanc was, essentially. And then Jin was able to stay safe behind. What about the first game?
Well, one criticism I want to give was towards the Syndra, where it's like, even though you know something counterpicks a champion, don't just pick it because it's a counterpick. Make sure it's actually something you do have comfort with, because he was missing the EQs when LeBlanc all in time and time again. You saw the disastrous level 1 where he missed every Q and LeBlanc was just throughout the free roam auto attack. Those are things that should just never be happening. So if you're not comfortable on the champion, go for the stuff you do know how to play. Go for your signature bucket picks. Go for just a safe lane phase, because that's what LeBlanc did. It worked out. Everything was fine.
Yeah, I think it's mostly like not knowing the matchup. Like you're very often.
When a champion has only like a 0.5% hit rate, how do you practice?
Yeah, and then also, Spy Fiction does play Syndra. It is one of more comfortable picks. So it's not like he was playing something he doesn't know. It's like I think the matchup he was getting kind of like lost at what to do.
Alright, so we got the second.
Caitlyn was banned. I'm reading a little chat here.
Yeah, Caitlyn
was also banned. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, that's the reason wasn't playing those champions. Spy Fiction does play Ahri and Veigar as well, though. I think they banned Veigar, maybe, but the Ahri was still up. Possibly. Wayman did very well, though. I hope to see Wayman on.
Yeah, Lissandra was definitely on the table here, but I personally would like Lissandra more than the Syndra. My favorite things when you're picking against Assassin, don't go skill for skill. Just play something like Galio or Lissandra and just flat out shut them down. Just say, I'm not going to lane against you. I'll see you during team phase.
What about Lissandra? So is it meta to still go Aftershock? Or was that like really nerfed?
When you're facing stuff like LeBlanc. Because the problem is with Lissandra right now is she doesn't have cooldowns to justify something like comment.
Yeah. Well, she always did go Aftershock for a long while. She was
Yeah.
still, I guess.
It's just what's making some people doubted it is the fact they rework Aftershock to be better for tank.
Yeah, they changed the scaling.
So next big question is, can Mamba go for the reverse streak? Can they just win straight 2 games? Can they adapt? Where would you like to see them adapt in the game too?
I think that Mamba can maybe pick a different jungler, honestly. I don't think Set was really filling the ganker initiator role that they were looking for. There was really solid setup for a situation in which he was able to do a good showstopper. He does play Lee Sin, he plays Roxai, and plays Vi, and I feel like Vi would just do better for their team comps that they're building around than Set generally.
I personally would like to see more adaptation from the supporter ADC roles. I would like to see more synergy between the bot lane and the actual, and I feel if we saw more synergy between Delm and actual comms, we might actually see Mama break down to. We've seen them do really close games in the past, but where they're struggling is that these games always going to come down to these really late messy fights that they have no choice. And so where Mama needs to groove on is avoid the early game drama that they're going into. Let themselves just have a solid mid game after when Dragons.
Yeah. They do have a pretty aggressive playstyle, like Wayman and Anxious. Anxious gets killed quite a bit because they didn't really fight they wanted, but especially on right side, I think an aggressive jungler would maybe change the pace of the game even more.
Now, I'm really curious if we're gonna have Ito or Soul break into the caster chat and give us some insights, scoop info like they did last. So shout out to those two if they feel like confident about the games.
Yeah, we love you. Please come and talk to us. We're lonely.
We're really dudes.
Yeah, Corona does that to us. We get lonely. We get physically separate.
Although if we're being serious, dude. This is the net. We're just waiting on the progress. Just waiting for both teams. And so, what does Chad think? Does Mamba make it? Can they pull it off? Can they clean up their act, or are they just gonna go 0 free for this week?
I think they can do it. I think this game was closer than should have. I think Mamba can come back with another game here.
Mamba
I think
normally
they're
wins
mid.
game 2s. The problem is they game 3.
Have to wait and see what they do with picks here. I think a lot will depend on the next match. Mid lane, I think, will have a tough time laning again because of just mental. Just Syndra was constantly being focused. Tons of ultimates spent on Syndra and then just no follow up and kill back oftentimes. And then they were able to abuse that in split pushing and all that. So Syndra was shut down really hard.
She was shut down pretty hard, and I feel like a lot of it has not to go for LeBlanc, but also just for the fact that Sejuani did a really good job of not allowing Syndra a way back.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, active. Other than Blanc, we talked about that already. So I'm surprised that the Jhin Braum, like, honestly, the Braum was more helpful to like Sejuani and Darius than anyone else. Team. And then Jhin was just like, yeah, I deal damage.
Well, they wanted to Sejuani
CC.
Braum power combo because they really do parry to Nast, their passive, so they do the exact same thing. ADC, they could have maybe got something like Illusion, but I'm really not hating on the Jhin. I'm fine with it.
I think the Jhin was
my
okay.
only disagreement was the fact they revealed too much of their aggression too early in the drafts. I feel like they could have hit it a bit longer, but it works out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the worry, of course, always. I think with the reason BTL people pick a lot of these, you guys pick champions in the order that isn't really like draft, winning draft favor, is because you're picking champions in order for them to not get banned in the next ban phase. To make sure that you do have the champion, and then, you know, work around helps that champion get ahead. So like the LeBlanc, I think the Braum, might have been comfort picks. And then the Sejuani and Darius were just like pillars to not fall apart as a team.
Yeah, quick update. We'll be starting up any minute now. Will be same lineup versus same lineup.
Good.
Thankfully, the custom lobbies are still working out. The servers are kind of on fire right now, but we still have custom lobbies.
I think if anything, they'll just close practice mode if they have trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They might just like be like, no, you can't go in practice mode. Imagine if they closed everything but bot games, and everyone had to play bot games to grind the pass. Or ARAMs.
At the beginning, they were talking about bronze and power lane. No, we never called it power lane. We called it a setup lane because they do have kill pressure with it. But we never called it a power lane. We actually criticized it for being not enough of a power lane. Just reading chat comments right now.
Like an early game, powerful, like it's powerful game. Both Jhin and Braum are really strong. Strong invade, strong early game execute from Jhin. Because everyone's
yeah, we were just more so talking about the setup like that when the tower does, which did eventually happen.
Yeah. Yeah, LeBlanc got to leave lane a lot, and help secure a lot of those kills.
The question is...
Lucian Braum is broken, yeah, absolutely. Lucian Braum is a fantastic bot lane.
The question is, does LeBlanc get through again? Because LeBlanc just said, I'll play into your counter matchup, and I will not care. So, to be able to play lanes that should naturally be hard, and just hardcore stomp them, really shows your confidence on the champion. So, does that get to happen again?
Yeah, they did ban away Malzahar, which is definitely a lane would struggle playing against, because just how massively strong Malzahar's wave and efficient. So I think the bans might stay pretty similar because Mamba didn't really get to play the champions that were banned because of comfort. But Active Rush might have played a few more champions they were comfortable. You can see the difference.
Alright, Syndra versus begin. Both teams said R, so we should be expecting the pro draft starting very shortly.
Okay.
Once again, I'm Phantom GG. My co-host on the play-by-play is Foxy. We have Parasiphon on the broadcasting tonight. We hope that everybody's having a good time right now. Pro draft will begin shortly, and we'll break down this draft.
We've got the banners kicking off super fast, just like before is.
So Mama is saying, no more LeBlanc. It was nasty. You can go away, Purple Lady.
Yeah, Silas as well. Very aggressive champion on AP side.
So a lot of mid lane focus. So it really makes you wonder: is Active Rush like a hardcore mid lane oriented lane, and they just really want to do everything they can to allow them to carry? Because the most common strategy you do when you're facing these powerful mid laners is you play something like a Malzahar or Morgana mid, and you just say, you know what, I'm not going to kill you, I'm just going to neutralize.
Yeah.
Caitlyn was left open, unless that no ban is a Caitlyn. Not getting any info on that.
Yeah, I'll say who it is.
Okay, so the blue band is going to be nothing, and the first pick Caitlyn right now. So, really
there's the Caitlyn. That's better than Jhin, I think, definitely.
Really curious why they left Caitlyn open for Jhin. Because so far, Caitlyn, pretty huge win streak when it comes to the league. They are going to say we're going to counter to Caitlyn with an Ashe and a Jarvan, meet it range for range. So, oh no, the Caitlyn Morgana power lane.
Caitlyn Morgana. You heard it here first. Power lane in the bot here.
So we were talking about power lanes in the chat. There is very few lanes that are as nasty as the pure raw poke range of a Caitlyn and a Morgana. these are one of the lanes where if you were to ask an ADC what lane makes him roll his eyes and just not want to play the game, it is facing Kill. Oh my god, that is one of the lanes that makes every
Yeah.
ADC main not.
You get hit by a
enjoy it.
binding, you get put in a trap, and headshotted, and then it's just endless.
And it's
It just-
the endless amount of poke that you can't even dodge because it's
Yeah.
borderline impossible to miss Morgana W.
Oh yeah, it's a point and click AoE. So Juani's gonna be picked up again for active rush. I like that. They do want the Morgana. I feel like that's definitely an Braum in some ways towards what they like to do because it's gonna let them get in a little bit safer into the fights and buy Caitlyn even more time.
Mid lane triple ban, so
Yeah, triple ban mid. All right, Veigar gonna be banned off.
and no, you will not be allowed to carry the game once again. With that is not.
Yeah. The only thing that is that the jungle is gonna be open again. Pick whatever they want. And Mamba will also be able to decide on the jungler.
Really
At
smart
least
ban with the Irelia. I'm not sure that anyone on Active Rush knows how to play the Irelia. It's probably their mid laner, so I'm going to assume this is 4-man bans to Active Rush. They are really doing everything they can to prevent mid from carrying.
Yeah. They already have the jungler, and J4 is really ganker. So they're definitely going to have priority over fighting over mid, and that's going to be an Orianna, a control mage.
Sejuani does like partners, and right now she has ability to help her out passive. Maybe Mordekaiser's left up, Darius is left up, Set's actually still open.
Set is open. I personally didn't like the set that much.
I was a big fan of Set either. I'm just thinking, like, what could they actually pick to be Sejuani's best friend for the game?
Well, there is the yeah.
They do need a little bit of scaling from the mid lane, something like a Cassie or a Ryze would be great.
That's a Victor pick. Interesting. That's a very scaling champion, and that's a Cinder.
So, all right,
Okay.
I liked it. So Active
You
Rush
can
is
take
saying,
it away.
I'll show you how to play Syndra.
Yep. So we're gonna pick up Cinder and show them how it's done. Or
There we go. I liked it. Got a really strong 4-man in the lane with a really near unbeatable Fiora in the top lane. This is going to be interesting. I'm excited to see it.
oh, hovered, sir. We mentioned that it was hovered. Malphite is gonna be taken first in the top lane.
So I really
Another
hope that
tank
Mamba just
for
picks
the
Fiora
team.
right now out of spite. I would be so happy if Mamba just picks Fiora out of spite. Please, please.
That would be interesting. Fiora would do really well. Oh, it's gonna be the
Okay,
Vlad.
whatever.
So the Vlad was left up, and then with a comfort pick for Mamba. So that's actually really good for Mamba. I think this could a pretty good draft. I think this is their one chance to get the
I think
game
both
back.
teams actually have really good drafts. Both teams actually have identity how they want to play. Active Rush has a lot of poke and sieging with Malphite to do these flanks. Mamba has a lot of scaling, a lot of team fight type combos with Jarvan, Nami, Ashe, and Victor. What I will say that Mamba has to be careful with is Mamba is what I like to call a bullet comp, meaning every champion has one bullet, they shoot it, they miss, they're done. So if they do not land these ultimates, Active Rush has the better DPS comp, where they have more consistent damage with the Caitlyn autos, the Syndra Qs, which is basically no cooldown whatsoever, the Morgana W. Like, you see what I'm saying here? Like, Active Rush does have more consistent damage. They just have to dodge out what Mamba does. But that being said, with a Jarvan setting things up for you, it's pretty hard to miss.
Yeah. Yeah. Ashe is a pretty strong AD as well, though. I do see a world in Ashe sending an arrow from far away into J4 Cataclysm is just absolutely gonna destroy somebody.
I really like both drafts this time. This is first game of the day where I actually give thumbs up to both teams during draft.
Yeah, I think these teams are really exciting. Yeah.
You first?
Yeah, I was gonna say these are really exciting teams. Like, both have some comfort picks that they're playing. Both are playing some really good utility champions, and we have some really strong champions in this match that came through.
Yeah, overall, in excited to see this game. It's really just going to come down to which team can play conditions better. But what I will say is, we've been criticizing players all day about drafting these heavy skill shot teams where you have to land your stuff for the comp to work. But you know what? I'd say Jarvan's a really good scoping mechanic. You just put that on top of your little rifle, and you're like, you know what? You know he's not gonna scope. He just said he's like this big guy. He just holds the target down for you, and he just says, "Go do your thing."
Yeah. He's like doing the countdown. So instead of
you first.
Down like wrestling fight.
Yep.
Yeah, I like J4 way better than Set by far. So much more range, so much more access back, and so much easier to follow up with Nami or Victor. Even Vlad just is gonna be a monster to deal with. If Vlad is left on top lane, it's just gonna be a really secret weapon of Mamba. I think that might be ignored.
Set is honestly not the best in jungler, but what makes him good and competitive is the fact that you can pick him early, and your comp can decide if he wants to be jungle, mid, or support. But I do feel a lot of sense value drops massively when you lack a team that can play him into multiple lanes. Because then, if you're just the enemy team, you go, okay, who's the only sub player on your team? Okay, it's not real flex anymore, is it?
Yeah.
You're not a flex pick if only one player in your team knows how to play properly.
Yeah. It's actually quite interesting to see when Set plays support, because he does have the natural heat. And he has...
One idea I was actually experimenting with myself is there was a game where we saw Fasting Senna with Trundle, and then Trundle just rushes Sunfire Cape. I'm just like, wait, you can do the exact same thing with Set.
Yeah. Rush Sunfire Cape and where, in support lane are we talking, or... What lane were you talking about?
Alright. Stop.
Huh?
Based off the last games, based off the drafts. Okay, so you're
disappeared for a second.
drafts. Who would you give?
Are we just gonna ignore that completely?
Ignore what? I'm
Fell
sorry.
off your chair or something?
Yeah. Incidents happened. So on the subject, so based off drafts alone, who do you give your vote to?
Ooh, it's hard. I think I want to see Mamba. I think Mamba can do it.
And then, based off what you know about these teams.
I mean, if we're being real, if I had to bet money, I would bet it on Active Rush. But I really do want to see Mamba. I haven't seen Mambas play any, like a lot of these champions, like Polar Ride does main Vladimir, and Bowkeeper on a little bit of a different engaged champ. I think Bowkeeper did really well on Set with Pad. Now he has J4, so I think there's a lot of exciting different things about this draft that could give a lot of favor to Mamba. So I hope Mamba wins.
I feel Mamba's draft is easier to execute, but where they gotta be careful is, like I said earlier, if they miss even one ultimate, that really hurts their team fighting by a lot. Like, they cannot afford to miss Satchel in this game. They have to.
Oh yeah.
If they don't stick, then Caitlyn is just gonna macro. As we saw in game number 2 during Shurima, Caitlyn's just gonna free hit you and do ridiculous amounts of auto attack damage.
Yeah, especially when there's no access to the backline. And that's, I think, the biggest difference. Game, we're watching his ability to access the backline and allow the team to not have to fight front to back, which I feel like front to back Caitlyn's a lot. And junglers don't tend to be back, like, pick champions in here. They're not like champions that go into the backline and allow you that access. But J4 is one of those champions.
So, I feel like who we really have to watch out for here is hopefully Vlad would decide to go phase. And if he did, the shining star that might be this game is Vladimir just finding a way to get behind the backline and just ulting everybody. Because what I realized right now that I look at the drafts, there's actually nobody besides maybe Morgana who can save the team from Vladimir Flame.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, Malphite Sejuani have an ability to stop Vladimir, but it's only during certain windows.
mm-hmm. So yeah, the big person to watch out for this game on Mamba side is does Ash land these ultimates and does Vladimir find these. The person to watch out for Active Rush is can Malphite land these sweet, nice 2 to 3 man ultimates to be the setup for his team? Does Expo stomp lane once again? And do we see that really familiar mid jungle synergy that we saw in game 1? Because if we do, Victor is actually a very easily gankable champion, and there's so much setup for the mid lane.
Yeah. So we'll have to see in a minute.
44 seconds to be exact.
Yeah. You were talking about also a Rise pick. If we do go to the game, good game team, pretty good mage pick for Mamba. If not even in the top lane, to just allow them a little bit more split pressure, and just wave clear pressure.
I'm not sure if there's any Rise mates in the actual league though. I like to play Rise, but I chose not to play for this season. But outside of myself, I'm not even bragging here. I'm not sure there's actually any other Rise mate. He's actually a bit of a niche pick for people.
He is. I mean, in pro play, every single person play him, but like, yeah, but he is niche.
Which I find weird because, in my personal opinion, I think he's actually really fun to play. I think he's fun. I love the EQ spam.
Yeah.
And nothing's more satisfying than just going EW my wolf to the enemy ADC.
I got you now. Yeah, I love when he yells "gotcha." Like he literally says that, just like when you do it. So it's so satisfying.
Once he does
sometimes.
EW, you're gone.
Yeah.
And you see just go, well, I had a Hellar.
And now I don't have one.
Now, I'm not sure if my screen is broken or if I'm just dead.
Yeah. My Rise makes me see things in black and white. Black and white. Black
I
and
remember
white.
when Rengar was really broken and there wasn't that many champions that could counter Rengar. But those were fun time.
Yeah. Ranger bots, some people do that. Alright, so the teams are rolling out. We got 5-man run. Top side actually. So
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
We're seeing an invasion for the top side.
active rush. We're rushing to this top side. I don't know if catching Vladimir is a
30 seconds.
like,
Vladimir does take
easy
in time.
thing.
He's gonna save this. He can just either A, walk later.
He can just start a W.
Oh,
He's
oh no!
Take it. He's not gonna get hit by the binding. Crazy
That
flash
should have
out
been
of
a
him.
death. I don't know if Vladimir was fixing his playlist or what, but he had so much time. You know, he was just fixing his playlist. That's the worst.
Literally waited to be auto tagged and walk away. So they probably didn't expect that. That was a really daring.
They were in his vision just in time, and he just didn't move.
Yeah. It's almost like he was waiting for the screen to flash to let him know he was taking damage.
He was just fixing his playlist. That's what was going. Like, you've done it, I've done it, chat's done it. We've all had that era game where you're just gonna turn on Spotify, and I'll be good to go.
Right. You know, like switching, playlists, or turning on that 1 hour long chill step gamer soundtrack playlist compilation. And then all of a sudden there's 5 people in your face.
You're like, oh, I guess I should have done that before the game started.
No, it's like, gosh damn, I guess I gotta beat him without flash. Alright, so we got a red side on both junglers. Start in the jungle. And we're gonna see how this Caitlyn plays out with the fleet. Gonna have a good amount of sustain against the Ashe. Ashe took cleanse and Hail of Blades.
And now the annoying nonsense of the undodgeable Malphite piece begins.
Yeah, well, but the nice thing about Vladimir is on every queue, so That's why I feel like that's gonna be a hidden pick that just people forget that there's a Malphite and a Vlad, and then Vladimir just comes in, you know, with tons of just a death cap and a probot out of nowhere and just deletes everyone. Oh, we got a gank here. Here's the J4 gank.
Classic Q.
Engage. The flag will miss because both flashes will be expended by the bot lane instantly. Respecting that. Damage.
And finally someone punishes it, because Halo Morgana, very annoying to face, very powerful lane, but it does have one weakness. It wins too hard. And what I mean by wins too hard is they're gonna naturally push, and that exposes them for a game. And way too often in BTL and everything, you just see that go completely unknown.
It is a little strange that they both flash and have black shield. Save a summoner. So that's definitely unfortunate. Multiply taking quite a few hits here.
But you know what? Starting from now, it's just uphill, because the thing is, Vladimir might be low on health, but Malphite's out of mana. And for mana champions like Malphite, your health bar is not your health bar, it's actually your mana bar. So the moment Malphite's out of mana, he's in trouble.
Alright, oh, we got some fighting going on here. A re-engage, a re-gank. Black Shield will save Caitlyn here, just enough, but another heal and an ignite. All summoners are gone from bot lane. That's strike 2. And that's just in time for Inferno.
Jarvan spent so much time in bot lane that Sejuani just says, you know what, you want to camp my bot lane? I'll punish you and meet you by taking all your camps. Just all of them.
Well, I will say everything looks a little bit like Minecraft right now, because the Discord is not doing me any favors. The auto attacks though are gonna be enough almost. Oh, W from Ashe is just not gonna be able to pick up that kill onto Caitlyn. Meanwhile, we got a little bit of fight from Expo. And here's the gank onto Vladimir. He's gonna maybe
He has no flash.
get out here, but he has no flash this time. So very unlikely. First blood and gonna end up in the top lane. There's the kill. They got the kill. Wayman picks it up. Execute from Anxious. So that is gonna be a 1-for-0. J4 now in the mid lane. Another gank.
He's gonna say fuck.
Gonna try to get Exo, but gonna miss the flag here. And Exo's gonna walk away with his life without flag.
Cyril just saying, you know what? I don't need to run for this game. I'm just gonna challenge Victor, and then Victor, come at me.
Yeah, this is definitely quite bad. Mamba are not gonna do too well in the top lane here, but bot lane is gonna go pretty well. Inferno Drake is gonna be roamed over to Warden. Inferno is pretty good for both teams. I think especially Mamba might appreciate the Infernal here. So
I was just kind of getting unfortunate is that Emu, the big reason why people like Caitlyn is because she is supposed to go to get those CS3s, and her item station is not going to really allow her to do that, and at the same time, she's down 10 far. So what's supposed to make Caitlyn shine, we're not really seeing it.
yeah.
But you do have to take into account that Jarvan did.
Has been camping bot lane like nothing stops him. There's the EQ, gonna be able to land it, and there goes down Nelson. 2 kills going over. A flash though out of Bowkeeper away. Was it Bonnie? Thesis is on the way. That might delay the time when they can get
Oh, nice.
the ultimate from Malphite. Getting ganked here. Is it gonna be enough? The barrier.
And as we just saying right now, you know what? Let me show you how to play. I will be the one with a 20 CSC. I will be the one taking you out, even if my Malphite misses.
Yep. Oh, and Thesis is now inside the jungle here, looking for Bowkeeper. Victor's on his way. Will Thesis really go for this? That'll be disengaged there.
just asserting his dominance in the jungle, saying, "This is mine. Your blue buff and drop or spawning. I will take that, good sir."
Yeah.
So let's talk about game states. We have the Poke and CG team with a little bit of engage going against the core raw team fighting team. And neither of these teams falls off. Like they both have their good solid win conditions in the late game. You had the long range poke at the Caitlyn, the huge guarantee ultimates on the Malphite, especially because AP. So both teams come together in win conditions. So like what Blue side really wants to do here is they want to try to assist Caitlyn Morgana lane happening more because what's been going on is you have this big parliament that wants bully, and they were never allowed to because they've had almost no gank instance while being camped at the same time. So the perks you're feeling with the gate here, we have a little bit of a fight coming up right here.
I'm just getting a little bit of a speed boost from Nami. Gonna cleanse that. Ignite from Nelson. Train summoner for summoner, essentially.
Well, it really is interesting lane to watch, especially when you have Mamba on the team.
Finally,
because-
Thesis is here, but the ward is not gonna let him help out at all.
But do they fall?
Does have level 6 from Thesis.
Oh,
Oh, that's gonna be a binding, and they might be able to get anxious here. Definitely gonna be able to pick that up. Kill going over. Fortunately to Nelson, but it's something.
interesting enough, Morgana does look like she's rushing the Sonya's here, so it's still gold being well spent. Oh!
Oh,
I think it's a kill.
that's gonna be a kill going to Expo. Meanwhile, if we're getting caught
Unfortunately
again a
for
little bit
Spy,
here.
but Spy is just being outclassed this game after game.
Yeah,
Expo is just
having
saying
quite a
like,
bit of trouble.
I'll beat you while.
Oh, the ultimate gonna hit almost 2 members. Vlad
Oh,
is
no.
gonna go down to this damage. Expo is now roaming all over the map. Expo is now on 3 kills, which is crazy. The Ash Arrow is finally landing here. Caitlyn away and alive.
So this is looking like it's going to be another Wayman versus Expo game. And last time when it came down to Wayman to try to carry against Expo, bad news for Wayman. While you may be the star of your team, the star of Rush is a assassin main who can one-shot you whenever he wants.
Yeah. And there's a flash engage from Thesis. They're gonna be able to pick that up, and a Caitlyn trap will enough. And
It's just happening again. She's just blocking you. She's gonna do the Q. She's probably gonna land W right now, and that's just gonna be
absolutely
finished.
not. Gonna almost burn through that berry. Spread the weak will actually connect here. And doing it right. This time spread the weak.
Yeah, it's landed. Like,
If you didn't know, it gives you lots of more range. It actually stuns the enemy.
yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Syndra is debatably first, second best midder in a game, with her main rival being Cassiopeia. Up to opinions and which one you like more, but yeah, this is what she looks like.
Yeah, this is what Syndra's supposed to look like. Yeah. Okay, finally some quality is returning. I might actually see what's happening a little better.
And you also
It is so pixelated right now in Discord. I'm breaking the fourth wall here with this.
that is unfortunate. We see Caitlyn going down there to the Ashel. So once again, this is gonna come down to here we go.
Oh,
Wayman?
that's an engage. Ash goes down instantly, and then the
That's an out.
great
That's
gank
an AP Malphite.
from Beast.
That's an AP Malphite with 7 stacks. That's gonna turn into a mate.
Oh my god, he bought Dark Seal. That's
yeah, that's
gonna
gonna turn into a mate guy.
Magi's. Wow. Alright, we got a gank from Thesis. Rushing over. Maybe we'll be able to defend this. Actually, ultimate for
There's a few more autos. Ah,
might
not
be
yet.
enough. Not quite enough. So behind. Yeah. With magical boots, so he didn't even buy those boots. Yeah, it's a real rough time here. And Victor and Vlad, they need lots of time to scale, so maybe Wayman can buy this team enough time to scale, but
I think it
we'll have to
becomes a big
see.
problem.
There's a root.
Active rush scales too. So you can't even look at it as a counter litigation.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this works out. Morgana trying to get these chains in. It's working, but it's gonna have to stasis to survive. And Anxious is gonna go down, and the capture Caitlyn Amo goes down as well.
Consider 1v2. Here comes the answer. She
Wayman.
won't have 1v2. Guys come in.
Wayman goes down.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
a flash forward with Protobell. Will pick up the kill onto.
So Vladimir says, you think you can beat? I think you.
Yeah. Oh, Expo actually fools.
But does it matter?
Wow. And he's gonna survive that. Expo's gonna go down here.
Nice flash.
Wow. Amazing gameplay here. Outplayed. You thought you had the outplay, but my outplay, and it's on a lower cool Syndra. So we got some Herald being spawned in the top lane, so that's gonna be probably 2 towers. I can see this being 2 towers. Herald actually retries to charge 3 times minions. Have to see if there's gonna be another tower hit. Probably, but then Malphite's gonna be gone, so.
So, let's talk about liquidations right now. So, things are looking dark for Mamba, but we gotta remember is they still have Jarvan for setup, still have Ashe. So, what Mamba needs to remember is they have all these setups for success. They have Vladimir who just flank from behind. They just need to make sure they have a good setup for vision and look for a way in. They need to try to find Jarvan to do these big fancy engages, combo instant bounce, and that should be a kill for you. But if they do not look for it, they will fall too far behind and just hoping that Rush makes a mistake. So for Mamba, take the active seat, don't react, be the initiators. Because if they keep on reacting, you're eventually just going to
Yeah. And to initiate, they need to have way better vision, and you can see there's like in their jungle.
Oh no.
Oh, that's an engage onto Victor. Victor goes straight down. Now 2 Drakes.
To answer that question, there was a question about should you rush Trife Forge on Ashe? Ashe actually has 3 completely different builds that are all 100% meta. Her first build, which you're probably more used to, is the Essence Fever Rush, so you can have more consistent cooldowns and crit on it. The second build is like
Here, I suppose might be caught here. Vladimir is ready to fight as well, and Bowkeeper is gonna run out of that one. That's a one. But Caitlyn getting a kill onto Wayman. Wayman goes down, and the anxious. Oh, so much fighting. No, very exciting game. Way more exciting than last.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
We got a little bit of a fight here. But Bowkeeper just gets out pretty quickly. They're gonna be running it down mid lane, clearing the minions, clearing the vision. Malphite's at this point where I feel like once he has that ultimate, it's almost ready. There it is. There's the gauge.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yes, I have no answer.
Syndra follow up is a little bit too far away, But he can just walk out because he just has all this armor. Oh my god, that Suja Spear damage is
I think
insane!
he's just limit testing here. He's just flat out limit testing.
Ooh. Luden's Echo is just so much. And Thesis is following up here onto the Vlad, and it's gonna interrupt Vladimir here. Protobell is just not gonna be enough to get. And they're gonna take this inner tower.
Mamba's just really flying hard. I don't know if they're tilted. I don't know if they don't know how.
Oh, I am certain that mid is tilted. Mid is just brain gone at this point.
You're right. Mid is probably not the mid at this point. But in all fairness, I got some inside info from the chat where Expo actually has a 2 elo diff on his opposing mid laner. So there's not really too much you can ask Spy to do in that situation. Because elo does matter.
Has been destroyed.
Yeah. That's rough.
But in which case, though, if the difference in elo is that big, you really just want to just have them pick like these Morgana mids, these Malzahars, these Gallows. Just don't challenge them to this skill matchup because if it's that big, you're just asking for trouble during the draft.
And there's a Prism onto the Vlad again. They're trying to take out this threat of getting their backline hit, and then they can just play front. J4 is out, it's over. More or less at this point. Up, there's an engage onto Nelson. Nelson is using Black Shield, will bind an ult here, and buy quite a bit of time for Imo to get some damage in. They will have to. And meanwhile, top lane is still pushing. Malphite will go with the flag smash.
You're so color casting the game in this game. It's just ouch.
Just action, action, and action.
Not even action, just ouch.
Pain.
Like, what other words do you say when you see Ash just get blasted by a Malphite? I think ouch is the proper word here.
Ouch. Oh, but there's the engage, the flash, and the 9 caliber. That will get her out. She's gonna be back in here inside the bush, taking a red buff on her way out. Next Drake is coming up very soon, 18 seconds now on the cloud. This is the perfect time to reset, and the perfect time, honestly, for Mamba to kind of get their mantle together and figure out what their way of surviving. A lot of spent as a response to survive, but that doesn't really stop anything from happening. There's gonna be a TP coming in, and the Ash Arrow actually predicted perfectly onto Mamba. Will they be able to get a pick here back? Bullride is going to expend the ultimate as well and trying to slow down. Thesis is on his way trying to rescue the Malphite, but not going to be in time. It's going to be one pick back. That is a way to get back in the game. Get rid of the one-shot giant rock that keeps killing your backline.
Well, what do you do when he comes back? He's not dead forever.
Hopefully do this again and kill him again. But that should be the plan for Mamba.
He has a Sunfire cape and 10 stacks of automation.
He didn't upgrade to Magic, so that should say something about his confidence.
Kendra is singing Aladdin to blue buff.
Yeah.
Nice juice.
Oh.
Ow.
Ow.
Like I said,
Like I said,
has the letter of the day. We're going with the word of the day. The word of the day is ow. It's ow.
Ow. The word of the day. Taking this back to the color casters after a very long and active. What are your thoughts on this? Ow.
What are my thoughts on this? I tried to say
Ow.
I thought Mama had ow.
No, but like that was the joke. Is that the answer is just ow. Oh, an Ash Arrow coming in. Maybe it'll land here. Can't really. Looks like they're gonna lose that tower anyway. But the person is gonna engage. Oh, damn it! And the Nami ultimate is not gonna be enough to stop any. Stopwatch is gonna keep Nelson alive again, per usual.
The color cast today is ow.
Expert just gonna be stacking these spheres, looking for a way in. get a little more vision of what's going on over there. Gonna have to clear the minions. Malphite is just waiting for an engage again. And honestly, it will be over very soon.
Remember, Cinderella's ult does more damage per ball that she summons. So,
Yep.
the longer this goes on, where Cinderella's just allowed to stack Qs, the more Ashe has to be afraid. I'm pretty sure at 6 balls, Ashe literally gets one-shotted by it.
Yeah, and even the sphere itself, spawning the sphere is like Nami at this point. Anxious is probably feeling pretty anxious right now about dealing with this Syndra. As it looks like, yeah, puns. Active Rush is gonna be getting ready to do this Baron. And they're starting so early, and they will get a little vision with the
You're literally doing it over water.
Hawkeye. Yeah, they're doing it over the wall, taking care. And looks like Expo's just walking back and forth. There's an Ashe arrow coming in that will be tanked by Expo.
This is beautiful. Tell me this is not beautiful.
This is honestly mostly for the stream and the point. Caitlyn autoing over the wall here.
Please tell me this is.
And there's the Baron. It was actually soloed by the by Thetis that whole, and the other members were just kind of standing on the other side.
Yeah.
That's the story we're going with.
You're playing rock paper scissors.
And next strike is in just under 2 minutes. So with this Baron push, they will definitely secure a cloud. And I really am starting. It's like they're constantly trying to clear these control wards that that Active Rush keeps buying and placing literally right next to their home base. It's really rough, and the problem is Victor just hasn't had any time to buy anything. Vlad doesn't even have death cap yet, and all these missing items are just not allowing Mamba to even leave the base and contest. And we got a Baron being pushed in the bottom lane by Malphite. He's going to be looking for that flank again if he gets the opportunity. Looks like he's going to be actually backing off.
He's just going to walk up to him too. Let's be real. He's a people. He doesn't pick shots. He has to strategy at this point.
He just walked through the whole team. It's going to be a TP. Oh, there's the fight, the tidal wave. Maybe it's a bubble hit. Actually, they will take down Nelson. But J4 is out. The Cataclysm didn't really help Wayman that much. Wayman is just kiting the tank here. And Malphite just doesn't care. I mean, Wayman, you can auto me 20, 50 times, doesn't matter. And the instant hole and all that damage instantly going to take him down.
That's definitely a game right there.
Yeah, that is definitely a game. They still have the Baron. And they're going to just
they
take
were
the
just
game.
waiting too long to pull the trigger. Like, they had the Jarvan, they had the Ashe, they had Vladimir Flanks, and this entire game, they were just scared. The confidence to pull the trigger just wasn't there. They saw it during the Baron pit. We saw it right now in this game where the Jarvan ults just weren't there. And it looks like the game is not.
I mean, the Jarvan ult was on the right, but Ashe was just
as often as they should. Like,
no way that Ashe could follow up on that. Yeah.
They just weren't getting the team fight engages, and part of it's probably due to the lack of midnight pressure. But they just gotta look for it. They gotta be less scared. They gotta pull the trigger soon.
Well, even though they don't end up ending the game, there's the guarantee. Maul with Hawkeye, but there's Vladimir. Once again, they're gonna target the Vladimir. They have a little bit of damage onto the Keelan, but there goes the Nami tidal wave, and that's gone. Binding will miss. Conquer Protoss and J4 maybe something they could do, but Ashe just got completely solo killed. Oh, this is really the test here, Vlad. Do you have it? Did you farm enough? Looks like he did farm enough to scare off the team, but not enough to kill anyone. They'll be able to get this Cloud Drake, and that means Caitlyn will shoot somebody from a billion miles away every like 15 seconds.
And that's gonna be their base. So They have Soul right now. All they need to do is just pressure the mid lane tower. It's the only tower left. Force them to walk away from top or mid because they're going to be too busy dealing with super minions. Just really work with your super minions right now. Walk with the waves and end the game for supers. Pressure bot lane. Divide up the forces because the moment they get divided up, they're finished. They're a team fighting team. Do not let them stick together.
Yeah. So this is really just going to be a question how they can put Spy Fiction on a champion that can better hold the wave. I think Spy Fiction's team fighting is okay, but just never gets the opportunity to do that. So that would be some thoughts for Mamba for their next games to figure out what they're going to do with the draft.
And they end right here. They say,
Well,
you know what?
it's going to be an engage from J4. That not mean a tidal wave will hit a couple, but
And that's gonna be good.
they don't have the damage. They're just too behind.
Do we want to pull anyone in for a Edo Spicy Wolf? Expo gonna get Expo in that? I would actually love that conversation.
That sounds like rubbing it in. I think I would like to see personally.
That's the last game of the day,
Jungler.
right?
Yeah, that was our last one. I'd like to see Bowkeeper, and then if we're talking about winner team, then probably Expo. I guess we can take Expo because Expo has been definitely a lot of these games. With
Veigar was
LeBlanc
banned.
into
I'm just
Syndra.
reading chat. Veigar was banned.
Hmm?
I'm just reading chat. Veigar was banned during drafts, during round 2.
Annie could be okay. Annie is actually really.
No, you wouldn't want to play Annie against it, though, because the problem is Annie's even more squishy, so then he's just literally going to turn Annie into a cannon minion.
Yeah, but you have the E to gain movement speed, so you dodge better, and you have damage resistance as well.
Yeah, with her lack of magic resistance, she's popping off 1Q.
Yeah. Well, at least the engages are a little easy with Annie. Just flash R.
So, that being said, Phantom GG. I have my co-host Foxy for that on the play-by-play. Our lovely broadcaster would be Mr. Parasiphon. It was great having
We're not doing an interview. Sorry.
I guess we're not doing an interview. So, have a good night, everybody. Peace out.